राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी 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 जय यशोदानंदन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय पतित पावन श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय Am I sitting at the corner of the room? Should I come forward a little bit? Yes, sir.
Oh, इधर आ जाओ. हाँ, this is fine. हाँ, this is okay.
So somebody's mobile phone we found in the parking lot. So they have to come forward and unlock it. It's yours?
I think it's Yamini Master.
Hare Krishna. So today is a very auspicious day because today is the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are here to celebrate that, and today is the right day. I mean, today is the exact day. Normally we do not get to celebrate the exact day. Sometimes it might fall on a Wednesday, it might fall on a Thursday, but we'll be celebrating on the following Sunday. But today it fell on the exact same day. Just today is Gaura Purnima, and we will get to know a little bit about who Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, what is the relevance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this modern, so-called modern world, or called Kali Yuga. And I'm completely incapable of speaking about this most esoteric and most exalted subject matter, but I've asked by the senior devotees to speak on which I will make an attempt, and if there is any fault, please forgive me. So before I attempt to speak anything on this subject matter, I would like to seek the blessings of our acharyas. Om Ajnanatimramdhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stouffvidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamahyam Dadati Swapatandivam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Udapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadhutam Parijana Sahidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalda Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namaste Taptakanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Yavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everybody, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ajanalam Vidabhujau Kanagavataro Sankirtanega Vidaro Kamaladayaksho Vishwambharo Priyadharo Yugadharmavalo Vande Jagat Priyataro Karunavataro Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So, as I mentioned, today is the most glorious day of the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya, and most of you might have heard about Lord Chaitanya. This movement is called the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Harinam movement, or the Hare Krishna movement. Basically, he is the one who has actually founded this Harinam movement. So when I started or to associate with ISKCON or Hare Krishna movement, I heard about Krishna and I heard about the Guru, which is Srila Prabhupada. And then I heard a third name. And the third name was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it took me some time for me to understand what is the unique position of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this movement. Obviously, we can understand the position of Krishna because he is the Supreme Lord. And we are called Hare Krishna movement. We are called Hare Krishna followers, right? So, of course, it's easy to understand who Krishna is. When I say understand, means at least to get an idea of what is his position. He is a Supreme Lord. That can be understood. And when it comes to Guru, we can understand, okay, there's a person who has actually established this movement in this Kali Yuga, in this current age. So that's understood. Now, when there is third person, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is standing in between these two, it took some time for me to understand or come to a conclusion of what is his position. And I think that's what we're trying to achieve today. We're not going to the depth of like what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or what is his pastimes and everything. We don't have time for that, but we'll try to at least make an understanding of what is essentially the fundamental principle behind the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we will try to see if we can actually, if time available, we will go to to his a brief overview of his lifetime. So we all know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is incarnation of who? Anybody know? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an incarnation of Radha and Krishna. Yeah. So those of you who don't know, I'll repeat that statement again. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we will be speaking about this word or this name Chaitanya Mahaprabhu throughout the lecture. So just wanted to set the grounds. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation of Krishna and Radha Krishna, right? So when we hear about incarnation, what is the Sanskrit word of incarnation? Anybody? Avatar, right? Avatar. Huh?
Not that movie.
Yes. No, I mean this avatar is been taken into this dictionary. This is my new avatar, right? What is the meaning of avatar? According to the dictionary meaning, look, new form, new version, right? But actually, that is not the meaning of avatar. See, incarnation, I think, is come from some Latin or some Greek word. Karna means what? Carnivorous means what? One who eats flesh. Karna means flesh. One who takes a body of flesh is incarnation, right? And that's exactly what the meaning of like a new form, a new body, a new version kind of thing, right? But that doesn't fit to our avatar thing. Avatar means, anybody know what's the meaning of avatar, the actual meaning of avatar? Avatar means one who descends from the top. One who comes from the top. It's called avatara, right? One who goes from the bottom to the top is bhavatara, right? Is anybody heard of like arohan and avarohan? Right? Same thing. So avatar means one who descends from the top, right? That's called avatar. That's exact meaning. But sometimes English fails to explain the real meaning of the Sanskrit, right? So avatar, if you just take on in the modern context, we might lose the real understanding of that. So avatar, we have to understand that he has not taken a body of flesh and blood and everything like that, right? He has actually come in the spiritual body, and he has come down to perform certain leelas. That is the avatar. So we know that Lord Krishna has got multiple avatars, right? Now there will be obviously a question, Prabhu, I heard it's not Krishna, it is Vishnu who has taken multiple avatars, right? And we heard that, okay, from Vishnu comes and how many avatars has come? How many avatars are there? How many incarnations are there for Vishnu? 8? 10? How many? Unlimited? Any other comments? More avatars we cannot count? Dashavatar? Any other thoughts? Just wanted to make it interactive so that you won't get bored. I will also not get bored. So yeah, I just want your participation. How many avatars? Unlimited, yes. So couple of answers are right. Somebody said 10 avatars, and somebody said unlimited avatars, right? That's true. 10 avatars are the one which has actually officially has recorded or can be officially said, like prominent ones, so to speak, right? But there are unlimited avatars. It is said that in the Shastras, it is said that he takes avatars not only in this world but in all the universes. So the avatars come like the waves in the ocean, right? Just like that, the avatars come. So why do the Lord take avatara, or how do he take take an avatar. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita why he takes the avatara in this material world. Can anybody make a guess? It's a very, very famous shloka.
To save sadhus
And what is the shloka for that? Very famous shloka. Yada hidahi dharmasya. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu. You only know yada hidahi. Glanir bhavati. Next shloka.
Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge.
Right. So Krishna says Sambhavami. I come every yuga. Right? Every yuga I will appear. For what? For some purpose, right? He will not come just for a leisure. He will come for some purpose. So every avatara of the Lord, he will be coming for some purpose. And what is the purpose what Krishna is mentioning in this Bhagavad Gita? Paritranaya sadhunam. And vinashaya cha. What does that mean? Paritranaya sadhunam. To protect the sadhus. And vinashaya cha dushkritam. To destroy the miscreants. For that purpose I will come. Right? And we have seen all the avatars, performing all these different pastimes. So as I mentioned, these 10 avatars are prominent one, and it is said that these 10 avatars are come from Vishnu, right? That's true. And one of that avatara is Krishna, right? So obviously when we say that, oh, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then who is the top? Is the Vishnu the top, from whom the Krishna himself has taken the avatara, or is Krishna, the top? We call the Krishna Bhagavan, right? But ideally we should be speaking about Vishnu. What is the disconnect there? So that was also one of my doubts. But when I started learning, when I started, understanding it from our acharyas and gurus, it is very clearly said that Krishna, yes, even though he is one of the avatars of these 10 avatars, he is actually the avatari. Avatari means one who is responsible for all the avatars, including Vishnu. So it will take some time for us to understand, but I'll try to explain in a short way, as much as possible for me. See, there are a couple of things which make sense to me, which made me understand, yes, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One thing is, as we mentioned, I don't know how many of you are there in my last class, when we explained about how from Lord Krishna all these different incarnations come, how this material world has been formed, and how Mahavishnu is the reason for the creation of this material world. How many of you are there in that class? Nobody was there? I forgot, right? Yeah. So Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and from him come Balaram, and from Balaram there is a Chaturvyuha formed. And this Chaturvyuha made of 4 Vishnus, again 4 Vishnus. And from him, and there is another Chaturvyuha formed. And from there is a Mahavishnu is created, or Mahavishnu incarnates. And from Mahavishnu, when he breathes, all the universes are created. When he breathes in, all the universes are going into his body. Just as if you are seeing a movie of James Cameron. What is happening there? Everybody is looking over there. We need to put a curtain there. Everybody is looking. What, is something going on there, Prabhu?
The actors are moving here and there.
I am just talking and everybody is looking there. I think that something is going on. Some dance or drama is going on. So it's, say, yes, Yashvasa Nishvasida Kalam Adhavalamba. Shvasa Nishvasa means what?
Breathing in and out.
How much time it take for us to breathe in and breathe out? Seconds, right? So that is the time wherein the whole creation happens and the whole annihilation happens. Have you heard about this pralaya? The material world is created, and then there are chatur yugas, and all these chatur yugas, after this chatur yuga, a pralaya will happen, right? And one of this chatur yuga, one of these whole chatur yuga is how many that Prabhu? 4.3 billion, right? That many years is one chatur yuga, and that is one day of Brahma. And Brahma lives for 100 years, like that. So just imagine how much is the 311 trillion, something like that, is the time frame of the lifetime of one Brahma. And when lifetime of Brahma is finished, then he will take his breath back. Who will take the breath back? Following me? Who was Vishnu? Yes, right? And then he will take the breath back, and everything goes back to his abdomen, right? And that is the ISKCON Kalam, that Kalam. Jivandi Loma Vilaje Jagadandanatha. And that is the lifetime of Jagadandanatha. Who is the Jagadandanatha? Brahma. One breath is the lifetime of one Brahma. And when he breathes in, all the universes goes inside his abdomen. And he breathes out, everything comes out. That is the creation of this material world. And this personality is called Mahavishnu, right? And this personality, from him is what all these avatars come, including Krishna. So we get a basic understanding of how this material world is created. There's so much of details to that, but we don't have time for that. So that is how, from Mahavishnu is what? From his pores, from his shvasam, from his breathing is what all the creation is being done. And then he breathes in, everything will goes in. Right? Now, when we talk about Krishna, how did Krishna comes into this equation? And we see that he comes in as one of his avatars. All Nrsimha, Varaha, Matsya, all these avatars come from Lord Vishnu. And Krishna also come from Vishnu. How does that happen? If Krishna is avatari, how come he is taking one of the avatars? So it is said that when Krishna wanted to come to this material world, right, there should be a door, there should be a pathway by which he has to come to this material world. There should be an agency, right? Like for example, if you wanted to get into Canada, you have to come through a agency. What is that agency called? Canadian Border Security Agency, CBSA, right? They have to verify your documents. They have to check that you are what is that called? Authorized person, legit person. They will check all your documents, and then they will make sure that okay, you can enter the country. So, same way, when Krishna has to come, we are talking only about Krishna, we are not talking about other avatars. When Krishna has to come to this material world, he will respect the rules of this material world, and he will come he will come to this material world as an avatara in this material world through the agency of Mahavishnu. Why? Mahavishnu is the creator of this material world. You see what I'm saying? He can directly come. I'll give an example to see if it makes sense. Let's say Prabhu works in a manufacturing company, correct Prabhu? Somewhere like that. Manufactures something, right? Right? Oh, it was him. Prabhu works in a manufacturing company. Suresh Prabhu. And see, when you go to a manufacturing company, you have to wear the safety measures, right? Like the hat, the gloves, the safety glasses, safety boots and everything. You have to come. probably reflective coats and whatever. It takes whatever that, safety measures or safety standards you have to follow. Now just imagine if the CEO of the company visits the plant. Normally what he does, he will respect the rules and regulations of the plant. Of course he can come in his suit, he can walk in his own way, but he will respect the safety measures of the plant. What he will do? He will take out the suit, he will put the hat, he will wear the safety goggles, he will wear the safety boots, safety gloves. Is that true? Does it happen? Otherwise, it is not allowed. But is the CEO of the company, he can come, is that true? But will he follow that? He will follow. So, what does that mean? That means when he comes to his own plant, he will actually make sure that the standards are followed according to the safety standards set by the safety officer of the plant. If the safety officer bigger, according to the protocol, or the CEO? CEO. But he respect it, right? Because accordingly, according to the standards, he will respect the rules set by the safety officer. Does that make sense, or is that above the head? Make sense? Tell me when it's a bouncer, okay? Then I can throw a white ball. So, same way, when Lord Krishna comes to this material world, he respects all the standards. See, when Krishna came to this material world, he accepted a guru. And what was the name of Krishna's guru's name? Anybody give it us? Sandeep? Sandipani, right? Why did Krishna has to accept a guru? He respected, right, the standard of the world. So same way, when Krishna came to this material world, he accepted the standards of this material world, and he respected that from Vishnu. Mahavishnu is what all the avatars come. So he also has taken the avatar as one of the avatars. Now second, these are two examples which actually struck me, and which made it was something like a logical to me. Okay. Now the second example, or the second point which I want to mention is that see, when you see Krishna and all other avatars, we can see that there is a striking difference between all other avatars and Krishna. Very, very striking difference between all other avatars. Let's say, give you the name of an avatar, maybe Narasimha, right? Or Mother Durga. I'm not talking about avatar, I'm just talking about any demigods. If you just take a difference between these demigods and Krishna, the first and foremost and interesting difference which we notice is that all other demigods and avatars and so-called gods, they have something to do, right? What does that mean? That means they have something in their hand to do something. What does Narasimhadev have? Sharp nails. He has Shankha, Chakra, Gada and Padma. What does Mahavishnu have in his hands? Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. What does Mother Durga have in her hand? Trishul. What has Lord Shiva has in hands? What does Lord Ganesha has in his hands? He's got an axe. He has got a noose also, a rope, right? Somebody says that he has got 18 weapons. What does that Lord Kartikeya has in his hands? Well, right? That's also, what's that called? Dagger? Something like that, right? Think about any other personality who doesn't have a weapon except Krishna. Jesus, yes. Of course, Jesus is not God. We are not talking about God. Jesus is a preacher, right? Like Prabhupada is a preacher. We're talking about a personality like Jesus. So we'll come to that, Prabhu. But any other gods which you don't speak about? What? Saraswati has got Vedas in her hand. So that means she has something to do. We are not talking about weapons only, Prabhu. They're talking about something. I said they have something to do. They have something in their hands, right? So everybody holds something in their hand. That means they have to perform certain activity. Now, when you talk about Krishna, what is in his hands? And what is the flute for? Enjoyment. Simply like that. Venum Konandam Aravinda Dalaya Daksham Barhavadamsam Asitambuda Sundaranga Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. When you just go to a billionaire's house, and when you just go to the door, there will be a doorkeeper. And he's a doorkeeper. And what he has in his hand, a big lathi in his hand. I'll say, where do you want to go? I want to see the Mr. Sanjay. Do you have an appointment? Yes, I have an appointment. Okay, get in. He opens the door for you. And then we walk inside, and then we see a gardener. He is having a hose, and he was just watering the plant. And he's got a spade, and he was just arranging the flower bed and all these kind of things. Then we just go inside, and then there is a person who is washing the car. And then we just go and see there is a person who is actually serving this thing, cleaning the floor and all these things. And then we go inside, and then we see a person who is cooking, and then serving and all this kind of thing. They're all having some kind of things in their hand, and they're doing some activities. And when they go inside, there we will see Mr. Sanjay, in his couch, having a wine and watching TV or doing something. So who is the boss? The person who is working or the person who is enjoying? Does that make sense? Is that logical? Right? So Krishna is called Edecha Amsha Kala Pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. In the Bhagavatam, Brahmadev says that Edecha Amsha Kala, all these things which we see is either Amsha or Kala. Amsha means what? Portion, right? Or Kala means portion of the portion. Right? If you see my granddaughter, he is the portion of my portion. Or you see grandson's son, or great grandson, you'll say portion of the portion of the portion. If you see the son, you'll say, is my Amsha, is my direct portion. You see what I'm saying? Same thing. So, all these, personalities are the portions or the portion of Lord Krishna. And there Brahma says, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? So Krishna has taken multiple avatars. Right? So, but why there are different avatars? How many types of avatars are there? There are 6 types of avatars are there. Right? 6 types of avatars. And they're like, Leela Avatara, Guna Avatara, Manvantara Avatara, Yuga Avatara, Shakti Avesha Avatara, Purusha Avataras, right? So these are all different avatars which come from different purposes, right? For example, let's say Leela Avatara. What does that mean? It comes for a particular Leela. Let's say, Mohini Avatara. And Mohini Avatara has come for a particular Leela. And she has done that Avatara and she has gone. How many of you have heard about Mohini Avatara? Mohini Avatara of Lord Vishnu. What was the purpose of Mohini Avatara? Anybody else from the back? Kill a demon?
Yeah, who had got this blessing saying that only a woman can kill him.
Yes. That is, but the main purpose of the Avatara was to steal the nectar from the demons. When the churning of the milk ocean happened between the demons and the demigods. And that's when The demons actually stole this nectar and they ran away, and that's when Lord Vishnu himself has come in the form of Mohini, right? So that was one. And these are like, very, what's that called? Lack of a better word, but I would simple avatars, Yes?
Is it okay to ask a question?
Yeah, please.
So it's regarding avatars.
Mm-hmm.
And like one thing, this has been a question too.
Yeah.
And the question is that, like God is all powerful.
Yes.
So he can actually manage the world in the way he wants.
Yes.
Right? And the purpose of Avatara is to control.
To what?
Like to manage the balance between good and evil. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever evil exceeds
Yes.
good, he takes it.
Yes.
That's the fundamental.
Mm-hmm.
Now the question is, since God is all powerful, why does he have to wait till it gets to that point? Why doesn't he continuously maintain the balance so that there's always good in the world? People don't act in bad
Mm-hmm.
ways.
Yeah.
And there's no need for Avatara.
Right.
Why the need for this?
So it is said that this material world, it's always a balance of good and evil, right? So if I can understand, if I can, put your question another way, obvious question is like, why there is evil in this world, right? In other words, right? Why can't he just manage in such a way that will be always goodness, right? See, there is a place where is always goodness. There is all good. There is a place where there is all good, and that place is called Vaikuntha, right? And this place is somewhere, it's a mix of or a baggage of both, and predominantly miseries, right? And this place is built for a purpose. And this place is built for a purpose, and that purpose is it's a correction unit, if I can use that word. If you see, like in Canada, there is a correction unit. Right? What is a correction unit? It's a jail, basically, right? Why this jail is maintained? Because there were some miscreants who were doing something bad, and they are put in the jail. And can you expect goodness and comfort and luxury in jail? No. Now the question we have to ask is, why did we end up in this jail? So there is a reason why we have ended in this material world. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, this material world. Right? This material world is a Dukkhalayam. This material world is created for punishing certain souls who have actually done something wrong back home when we are in Vaikuntha. That's a long story, right? But in short, this is how it has been designed. And that's what we see, like no matter how much ever I try my level best, it's always been difficult. The proportion of struggling and suffering is higher. Isn't that true? The example which I always use and which is very dear to me is that we've got 7 days a week. How many days of work and how many days of leisure? Just take that alone, a simple example. And you will come to know that this material world is suffering. 7 days a week, probably some people will be working for 6 days. Some people will be working for? Who is working for 3 days now? And tell me what job is that? 3 days work means he'll be working 24/7. As 24/3 then. Right? Mataji is working for 3 days, I believe, right? Rest 4 days, Prabhu will be working.
Last week.
So I'm just saying, like, this is how it is. This is a world which is created for that purpose, Prabhu. So we can't expect to be a full-blown happiness and thing. You have to suffer and you have to struggle.
No.
That's the part.
Like, let me rephrase my question. The
Mhm.
question is not about misery or
Yeah.
happiness. The question is, why do people do evil in the first place?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because misery is a result of people doing evil.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
But can't God stop the act itself so that there is no reason for misery? There is no need for him to come.
That's what I'm saying, Prabhu. So here, in this, when we come to this material world has got primarily how many defects? 4 defects? 4 defects, right? The 4 defects are like, of the human being is imperfect senses. Our senses are imperfect. And second one is that getting illusioned by the things. And third one is cheating propensity. And the fourth one is to commit mistakes. So doing evil, doing crime, and everything is coming from these 4 defects. And tell me one person who doesn't have this imperfection. Show me one person who doesn't have these imperfections. Everybody has got these imperfections, right? It's a degree of how much they have more or less. And because of which is what we are doing this evil, right? And this is what our profile is. Okay, next activity. Let's see what they are doing.
Continue.
No, everybody is looking at you, so let me also watch it. So, this is how Prabhu, that's how it happens. So everybody has got that nature of behaving in such a way. And plus, this material world has got something called a 3 gunas. And these 3 gunas are like, 3, what is that called? Trishul. What is the meaning of Trishul, Prabhu? What is that called, Trishul? Trident, right? It's a trident. And this always poking us. And what is the 3 gunas? Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. These 3 gunas are always poking us at any point of time. Even when you're sleeping. When you're sleeping, you are under the control of Rajas. Tamas. When you are aggressive, when you are actually so passionate, that means you are under the control of Rajas, passion. And when you are actually very peaceful and very sattvic, then we are actually under the control of goodness. Now there can be a combination of this. Now we are all sitting here in a very peaceful and very sattvic place and sleeping. What does that mean? It's a combination of Sattva and Tama, right? Now we are all sitting here in a peaceful and sattvic place, and we are thinking about, man, that guy. And what is going on? Sattva and Raja, right? Always there can be a combination of Sattva, Raja, and Tamas. So when we have got this, imperfections, plus when these modes are affecting us, then we tend to do these evil things and all. It's very difficult. Now, having said that, when the Lord sees that we are suffering in this material world, He will send, His representatives. So that's what is one of the other. The second part of the question is like, why He has to wait so long, right? Can't He send this? That's how this material world is designed, right? Because He will actually wait to a certain extent wherein certain people will be really suffering and they have to really call. And when the call comes, then only the call will be heard, right? Like for example, we have to raise our hands and we have to call for help, right? And when the help is not there, and when we are not calling, help will not come, right? But still, we will give it a try, right? We will give it a try how to fix it by myself, how to, just like Draupadi. We've seen Draupadi, when Draupadi was getting disrobed, and by Dushasan. You know the story? All know the story? She was getting disrobed by Dushasan, and then she was trying to protect her dignity, by holding with the both hands. Did the help came? Help didn't come. But then when she raised both her hands, thinking that okay, nothing is working, that's when the help came. Right? In this material world, in Kali Yuga, that's how it works. We have to ask for the help, and that's when He will be coming in different forms, different incarnations to save us. Right? And one of those incarnations is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we are talking about here. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken the form of a devotee. As I said, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. Right? But there is a couple of reasons for him to take appearance in this material world, right? First and foremost is that, as he was telling, that people in this Kali Yuga, this Kali Yuga is very young, right? How many of you know how old this Kali Yuga is? How old this Kali Yuga is? We are talking about Kali Yuga, Kali Yuga. We are thinking like Kali Yuga has been running for how many? How old is Kali Yuga, Prabhu? 5,000 years, right? 5,000 plus. That's it. And what is the total duration of this Kali Yuga? Any guess? What is the total duration of this Kali Yuga?
10,000.
10,000? Any other guess? 4? Very close. 432,000 years, right? And out of which 5,000 is peanuts, right? So we are like what? 427,000 years left now. So Kali Yuga is in the beginning age. So when Krishna left his planet, Kali Yuga started, and then people were actually, started showing the symptoms of this Kali Yuga, right? Started showing the symptoms of Kali Yuga. And one of the devotees of the Lord, his name was Advaita Acharya. He actually called Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna basically, and he requested Lord Krishna to come down and give something by which people will get liberated from this Kali Yuga unconditionally, right? Now his question was like, why he has to wait for somebody to do sin and then he appear, right? But in Kali Yuga, a devotee has foreseen that people don't have they don't have the mindset to call out for help. They will simply suffer. But we have to proactively give them the help. And for that, he has actually worshipped Lord Krishna by Ganga Jal and Tulsi. So he has got a salagram, right? How many of you heard about salagram? Salagram is what? It's a stone. Krishna in the form of stone, right? How many of you have seen salagram? Salagram is a black stone. So it's found in the Gandaki river in Nepal. So he worshipped Lord Vishnu or Krishna with salagram and with Ganga Jal and Tulsi leaves. And Lord Krishna, and he prayed to Lord Krishna that please come in this material world to save the suffering souls, right? To save the suffering souls. So his prayer was heard by Lord Krishna, and he decided to take an incarnation as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is one reason. Now the second reason is that he wanted to show the most easiest way to perform bhakti in this material world, right? So, as I said, there are 4 yugas, right? What are the 4 yugas? Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. Right? So there were prescribed duties to be performed for all these 4 yugas, or 3 yugas basically. And the first one is Satya Yuga. Krideya Dhyayato Vishnu. In the Krita Yuga and the Satya Yuga is the Vishnu Dhyan or meditation of the Lord, right? Krideya Dhyayato Vishnu Tretayam Yatato Makhe. In Treta Yuga, Yagyas, right? Fire sacrifice. That was the most important means for worshipping Lord Vishnu. Dwapariye Paricharyayam. In the Dwapara Yuga, it is temple worship, deity worship, right? And Kalau Tat Hari Kirtana. In the Kali Yuga, can we do meditation? Difficult, right? People might try to do meditation, but that is not meditation. Mostly that will be sleeping, mostly. But there can be successful people who can do meditation, but it's extremely difficult with our pulsating and what is that called? Jumping and wavering mind, right? It's extremely difficult. If I say to everybody, like, close your eyes for 10 seconds and don't think about elephant, you cannot. Right? That's what it is. So it's very, 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 it's extremely difficult. You just try that. Just try, just think about a rose flower or a lotus flower and meditate for 2 minutes. Extremely difficult. From lotus, you will go to New Zealand. From New Zealand, you go to US. From US, you go to India. From India, you go to Vrindavan. From there, you go to this thing, that thing, and finally you end up in nowhere. Even you will go to space also. And then after 2 minutes, what did you think about?
IPL.
Huh?
IPL.
Then you go to IPL also. Alright? See? And then you will come back after visiting all these places in 2 minutes and say, did you think about lotus flower? Oh, I forgot. I forgot. Right? So that's the thing. That's our mind. That's the profile of our mind. So, with this difficult mind, we cannot meditate. So, meditation is pretty much ruled out. Second one is Tretayam Yachato Makhe. It's fire sacrifice, extremely difficult. We might do that, but that is not the means by which we can worship the Lord. Right? Third one is Dwapariye Paricharyayam. Doing temple worship and deity worship, extremely difficult again, right? It's not that it's impossible, it's difficult, right? Because for doing the paricharya, for doing the deity worship and everything, you have to be that, there are principles to that. You have to follow that principles and you have to maintain that purity and everything. Then only it will be perfect. Now the fourth one is the Kali Yuga. And if you see, all these different processes are easier comparatively. The second one is easier than the first one. That means doing fire sacrifice is easier than the meditation. Doing deity worship is easier than the fire sacrifice. Now the fourth one is Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, we are all having a very nice profile. What is called Manda Sumanda Madayo Manda Bhagya Ubadruda. Bhagavatam says, it's not me. What is the profile of us in Kali Yuga? Manda. Manda means slow, dull. Sumanda Mataya, extremely dull. Manda Bhagya means we are unfortunate. Thank you. Unfortunate. Ubadruda, disturbed. They are always disturbed. So these four things we are always having, right? And with these difficulties, we cannot do all these three things, right? So only one thing, and only the easiest method by which we can worship the Lord is simply by chanting the Lord's name, right? Chanting the holy name is the easiest method. Tell me any other easiest method. Chanting the prasadam. Somebody saying eating prasadam, right? Eating prasadam will also go with chanting, because for the both thing you are using your jihva, you are using your tongue. But first and foremost thing is chanting of the holy name. Kale doshe nidhe rajan asti eko hi mahaguna. In this Kali Yuga, there is everything dosha. There is only one guna, and that is Kirtana Deva Krishnasya. Mukta Sangha Paramara. Kirtana. Lord's holy name, chanting of the Lord's holy name is extremely powerful and extremely simple. Tell me if the chanting of the holy name is extremely difficult. Is that a difficult thing? But there were some Brahmins, especially earlier in 500 years ago. These Brahmins were thinking that this chanting of the holy name belongs to certain people, especially Brahmins, right? And they were not allowed for the other people to chant. Mantras and all these things were all specifically for the Brahmins and one section of people.
They are not allowed to listen.
Sorry?
They are not allowed to hear.
I'm concluding 2 minutes and I'm concluding. Huh?
They are not allowed to hear also.
They were not allowed to listen also, right? When Ramanujacharya, he said, his guru's name, forgot, he actually told, I'm going to give you the mantra by which you will be liberated from this material world. But don't tell this thing to anybody. Right? And he gave this mantra to Ramanujacharya. And what did Ramanujacharya do? After getting this mantra, he ran to a marketplace and he climbed the topmost Gopura. Gopura means the tomb or whatever, that tower. Yeah. And he loudly chanted, Om Namo Narayanaya. Right? And he gave this mantra to everybody. Right? So same way in West Bengal, this mantra, everybody was chanting Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And this was a very secret mantra. Nobody was given this mantra because it was patented, the principle of patency. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu incarnated in this material world. He came to this material world and he said oh, okay. This is Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is the mantra you cannot be chanting, right? Only one section of people can chant. I will change that mantra. I will change it to Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Pretty much the same. He changed. When something is patented, right? They will actually, if this mobile phone is patented, oh, why? Oh, it's got 3 cameras like that. Oh, is that it? I will move this 3 camera to the left side. Change. So now that patency doesn't exist. Same way, right? So, same way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was extremely merciful to the fallen conditioned souls in this material world. And he has come down to give this most merciful chanting to us. Had it been not for chanting, then we will not be sitting here and we won't be doing this thing. Otherwise, we will be not get attracted to Krishna consciousness. Is the chanting is what's actually most important. Most important. There is no rules or nam namakari bahuda nija shakti. Tatra arpida niyamida smaranena kala. There is no niyama, there is no place, there is no circumstance. Nothing is an obstruction for chanting. Right? If you want to do deity worship, then you have to be clean. That means you have to take bath, you have to be in clean, you have to have a deity, you have to have all this paraphernalia and ingredients and everything to do the deity worship. But for chanting, you can do it anytime. Even while you are driving, you can chant. Even while you are actually, walking, you can chant. Even while you are, taking bath, you can chant the holy name. One person was actually chanting Ram Nam while taking bath. So Hanumanji was actually flying over and he said, there is somebody chanting the name of Ram. Yatra yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam, tatra yatra Kritamastakāñjali. Wherever Raghunatha Kirtanam is going on, Hanuman is there. So Hanuman came and see where this thing is coming from. And this is coming from the bathroom. And he was really upset and he gave a nice punch in his face. Who? Hanuman. This is not the place for chanting the Ram Nam. And then he went to Ayodhya and when he saw Lord Ram has got a big swelling here. And they're like, Prabhuji, what happened to you? Somebody has actually given me a nice punch. How come? Because I am not different from my devotees and I am not different from my name. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purn Abhinnatam Nama Namino. There is no difference between Nama and Nami. But there is no difference between Nama and Nami. When we chant the holy name of the Lord Krishna is manifesting right in front of us. That is what Lord, when Gajendra took a lotus flower and raised, right? Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Yada Chitatmakam Purushaya Adi Bijaya Para Ishaya Dhimahi. When he was crying, Lord was with Lakshmi Devi and he just ran from Vaikuntha. He didn't forget to take even Uttariya also. And he actually, it is said that he was flying. Garuda was not speed enough to fly. Garuda actually flies in the speed of mind, Manovegam, right? But Lord Krishna took Garuda and he flew even faster than Garuda. And he came and he liberated Gajendra. That's the power of Naam. And this Harinam has been given to us by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu freely. There is no condition, there is no creed, there is no caste, there is no qualification, nothing is required. It's simply given free of cost. And that is what Prabhu, to answer your question, he doesn't wait for anybody to go. He will give this Harinam to all of us so that we can take this as our means of realization. Chant the holy name and then we will get liberated from these difficulties. Right? And that is what today is the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. We have a beautiful drama. Stick with us, and we are setting up a beautiful drama wherein we will be, depicting the life story of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu briefly. So you will get more information from there. I just wanted to speak a little bit more, but I always get digressed very quickly because of those 4 defects I was talking about. But anyways, I think I was able to at least touch base on the importance of Lord Chaitanya's appearance, why he is, taken the form of Lord Krishna and has come down to perform, devotional service and show us how to perform the most easiest, the most sublime, and the most effective and powerful devotional service of all time, which is chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna. Shila Prabhupada ki, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki.